Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Super Bowl season Thursday, January 29, 2026, this program begins now.
Football!
It is awesome, and obviously we're in the middle of Super Bowl season. Happy Super Bowl season to all of you. We find out who the best in the world is. He's very athletic. We've seen him play basketball. Obviously, he can make a lot of plays, but he's 2-3 years of development. If that's what you're looking for, that is a good draft. Drake May is a good draft pick. That was what was being said about him. So, and I think that is because I think that was an accurate assessment of him. I think he was a bit wild. I think he was a bit like a gunslinger. I think he was just best athlete on field all the time, any sport he was playing, he was best athlete. But then you don't counter in there like, well, if he is the best athlete, then you would think if he has a good work ethic, he should be able to get better then, and better and better and better and better. So I think Drake May is nowhere near what he's going to be like 5 years from now. I don't think he's anywhere near what he's going to be like a year from now.
Yeah.
And I think he's a computer, too, in between the years, from what it sounds like. With Josh McDaniels leading him, it's like
he's not, having like an MVP type, stat, playoff run here, but that doesn't matter.
Wins.
He's doing everything that he needs to do to win, and that's a testament to not only Mike Vrabel, but Josh McDaniels as well.
We talk about his legs. We chatted about how at North Carolina he led the Tar Heels in rushing and passing for a season. Nobody really talks about him being an athlete because he's so big. So I think people just automatically say, oh, he's too big to be athletic. Go watch his hoop highlights. Dude, true hooper. This guy, actual hooper here. 10 rushes, 129 rush yards, 6 first downs, 4 explosives. And they're not really doing it. It's not really like a thing. He'd much rather be a quarterback. But if you just completely unleash RPOs with Drake May on a game, I think he goes for over 100. I think obviously everything else opens up. I think it's an insane night. But they're also trying, I think, to make sure he knows he has to survive in this whole thing. Balancing survival versus what he could definitely do with his legs if he wanted to has to be an interesting balance for Josh McDaniels, I would assume.
Especially after his first year. Since this is his first year in this offense, which again is ridiculous. In his rookie year, I think he had 3 concussions. He didn't start the first 5 games, got his first start, and then during, that was his big problem. He got hit in the back of the head against the Jets, and then he got tackled a few kind of awkward lands, slammed his head on the ground, and he's had to do that this year, which has been noticeably different. When he does run, he's going down way earlier than he should, or not than he should, rather, than he did his first year. And then there are still a couple times where he will stand in there, run, and not slide. And that's when you can kind of see even, Vrabel be like, hey, dude.
And Josh McDaniels says, hey.
Exactly.
Whole place here. Mm-hmm. Hey, that was the messaging that I think if you listen to some of the OGs talk to Luck, because Andrew Luck was like,
yes,
no play left behind here, okay? Every play has to live up to its maximum potential. You need to play the play however the play can be played to its max limits. For the respect of football, for the good of ball, for the good of the play, for the respect of your teammates, for the respect of your coach that made the call. That's how Andrew Luck viewed football. A mogul megastar, Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan!
Yes.
He's saying we're on.
Yeah, we're on. We're on.
He's saying we're on.
We're on.
Oh, man, Pat. I wasn't ready for this.
What do you mean you weren't ready? What do you mean you weren't ready? You okay?
Pat, I'm ready. Pat, I'm coming in. I'm coming in remote from Saudi.
Yeah, I see that. Are you all ready? Are you okay? What happened? Were you sleeping? Is everything all right?
Brother, no, I'm locked in, brother.
I'm not taking my shirt off.
So locked in, brother.
Yeah, you look really good. I'm not taking my shirt off, actually. I was thinking about doing it, but then I'm looking at what you got going on here.
I guess how quickly I would rise to the top. See, I'm a sponge. I'm not as dumb as I look. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm running around with an IQ of 139 in my brain here, and so I'm really a student of the game. Being with Paul Heyman and some of the other guys in the division, I just ask questions, and I'm not afraid to say what I know and what I don't know. And there's a lot of gaps I can still fill in. There's a lot of room for me to still sharpen these blades, and that's what I intend to do the next couple of years. And make my way to become WWE champion.
And obviously that can happen this weekend. On that, you talk about being a sponge. Walking around at 139 IQ, you're so humble, too. Thank you for telling us about that. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Mav, you are working with Hall of Famer Paul Heyman. What has he kind of taught you as far as, going on to win the Rumble, and what strategies has he kind of given you?
He said nothing in this business is sacred. Nothing. If you are not a part of the vision, if you're not Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, or Paul Heyman, I genuinely don't care about you.
Wow.
If you are not a part of the unit, that means you're outside of the unit. And you are not my concern.
You traveled around a bit. You've had success in multiple different places. Now you're guiding a franchise. What has it been like here for the first few hours as a head coach in the NFL? Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you again. Thank you, guys. It was great to meet you all last year, and it's just been it's a process now. You know, you get the job, and first thing that you start thinking of is trying to build a relationship with the players. I think that's the most important piece in this whole thing, and then you start talking about a staff. And so, working tirelessly right now to put a staff together that'll be great for these guys, that these players deserve. And right now, those are the two main focuses at this time.
Okay, so tell me about Lamar Jackson as your quarterback. This is obviously, whenever we talked about the coaching vacancy in the coaching cycles, there was an MVP available with no head coach up there in Buffalo. There was an MVP in Baltimore. It felt like it was the first time, long time, first time forever. Whenever Lamar Jackson's a quarterback of a team, what does that mean for you as the head coach, a defensive guy? And what was the conversation around Lamar Jackson and the stars of this team currently during the hiring process?
Yeah, first of all, you know, being the head coach of the team that has the best player in the National Football League is pretty exciting. Like you said, these jobs with this caliber of quarterback don't often turn over. And so when it came open, you know, the respect and love I have for Lamar, and having been here before, having seen him come up as he was drafted here, what he did in his first few years, having had defended him last year in 2024 in Los Angeles, just, man, grateful, excited, stoked to have the best player in the league as our quarterback. And I think what that says is your window is always open. You got the best player in the world behind center. You got a group of guys on offense that have elite talent and elite playmaking skills. And look forward to building an offense and building a team around Lamar Jackson.
Okay, so Greg Roman and Lamar won an MVP. Todd Monken and Lamar won an MVP. Felt like it was a little different styles. On that note, you said you're still piecing together a staff, but an obvious question from Tone, a diehard Pittsburgh Steeler fan, by the way.
Yeah, don't hold that against me. Not yet. We haven't played each other yet. But, Coach, do you want to break news here and tell us who your OC is going to be? Just kidding. I know you're not going to do that. But is there a style? Like, because a lot of defensive head coaches, you know, they talk about how they want to run the ball and, you know, protect the defense, stuff like that. Do you care what style comes in, and what are you looking for in your offensive coordinator?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have tons of respect for the Ravens-Steelers rivalry, so won't hold that against you. I think I'm looking for a connector and an innovator and a scheme builder around the best player in the world. And so very, very creative, built on the things that have made this organization always successful. And I think that's playing great defense, having the ability to control the game with running the football, but ultimately building an offense around Lamar's skill set, what he does best, making plays easy for him at times, and making plays at times where he has the ability for his instincts to take over. So a very well-rounded, well-constructed offense that's very creative, innovative, always forward-thinking, always trying to find ways to improve.
I don't know Stefanski that well. I just didn't expect him to be bell a ball, basically, as soon as he leaves Cleveland like he was. I assumed he would have to go back offensive coordinate somewhere, be an OC, take a year like that and all that. And then instead, I see him walking out of the dog pound right into the bird's nest down there for the Falcons. It was like day of them. It's like, wow, he landed on his feet pretty good.
Yeah, I think that kind of proves and shows you what the NFL thinks of the Cleveland Browns in that organization.
Pretty good team. We're a great team.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna back my team. We're pretty good. We made it to the past 2 years and lost the past 2 years. So I'm thinking third time's a charm.
Oh, yeah, we got like a little chip on our shoulder underdog story too after not winning the finals.
Yeah, pretty much.
Washington Spirit, here we come. Okay, and I like that they say, hey, you're the future of the entire league. We want you to do it here. I'm a Washington Spirit fan. Gotham's very good. This league's been around 11 years, I think.
Yeah, 2015 maybe, 2016.
We know Patrick Mahomes and the Mahomes families with the Kansas City Combat. It feels like the NWSL is growing leaps and bounds right now, for real. When's season start, and when is like playoffs and everything going to get really going?
Season starts in March, and our first game is at home, so that's exciting. And I mean, you should be an owner of Washington Spirit. Join the league. Join it.
Okay, sounds good. Trinity, are you able to negotiate those things? You probably are, I assume. It sounds. I gotta go.
Here, I'll talk to my people. I'll talk to my people.
Where do you think women's soccer is going as well? This is just one small step, I think, for everybody. This is good for every player, young and old.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously knew it was going to be a pretty big announcement just because it's obviously never been done before. And there's been just so much talk around pay and increasing that and keeping the best players in the NWSL. But yeah, I think it's really good for the league, especially because our best players have been leaving to go overseas to get paid more. But I think if we can keep just raising the ceiling on what the NWSL can be, it's gonna be even more, and the skill is gonna be more, and then it's gonna get better and better and harder for these players to leave and ultimately get more players to come over here from overseas, which I think is great. But yeah, the phone's been pretty busy. People I haven't talked to in a while, and that's just natural. I think you start succeeding and everybody's in your phone. So you just gotta stay in your bubble and in your circle, and that's kind of what I've been doing.
Well, thanks for letting us in, because we certainly came calling immediately after. So that's yeah. You were talking.
I'm like, not to call anybody out.
Congratulations, head coach in the NFL. Now, whenever they move on from McDermott, the decision is made. There's a press conference. There's a lot of confusion. What are they going to do? Sean McDermott would be hired literally anywhere if he was to be released. And then he's saying he's sitting out a year. You're in the building. You get hired as the head coach. What was the conversation like to get the job? And now that you have it, what do you think some of the advantages are of you being able to stay there and potentially keep the culture and the core the same?
Yeah, I mean, look, like obviously, did I expect it to happen with Coach McDermott? No, but once the opportunity, once it happened, and this was an opportunity that came along, like this is exactly where I wanted to be, and obviously, got afforded the opportunity. And look, like you said, they went straight from a press conference to my interview, and I didn't know what the hell to expect. I'm going to be honest with you. It was one of those opportunities. It's like, hey, are they just going to sit there and be like, hey, we checked the box. This guy's the in-house man, and let's keep it moving. And I'm with these guys on a day-to-day basis, but they treat it as if I was the offensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints, right? And man, I appreciated that so much. And I mean, it was intense. But look, I was sweating it out for a week, but there's nowhere else. I didn't want to just be a head coach. I wanted to be the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, man. And man, I'm loving life right now.
How pumped are you for Joe to get the gig up there?
Very, very excited for Joe. Obviously, we talked about it. I didn't do anything for him. He did it himself, but I got to be in there, and it was a unique perspective to kind of, like you said, separate church and state. Asked him some hard-hitting questions, but we got to ask him one question now. What watch is he going to get? I got him onto watches. I'm just kind of into the watch game, and he said when he gets a head coaching job, whether it was here or somewhere else, that he was going to get himself a watch. So now we got to find him a watch.
Joe, that's awesome that Josh is buying you and all the new coaches watches. That's so cool. Thank you, Josh.
Wow.
You're a hero, Josh.
During the press conference, there was a lot of talk about Bills draft picks and disagreements maybe between coaches in the front office. Have you talked to Bean yet about what your role is going to be in the draft process, or was that part of the interviews at all?
Yeah, look, like Brandon Bean and I are in this together. Like this isn't Joe Brady. This isn't Brandon Bean. Like we're like this. And what I love, I've had an opportunity to work for him. A lot of times you get a new job, and it's like, hey, everyone, we're acting like we're best friends. We've never worked together. Like I've been in it with Brandon Bean and understand how he thinks and understand that we can have the tough conversations and like the alignment that we have, like we can disagree, and I'm good with that. And so, but once we leave and
just not disagree too much.
Yeah. I mean, the people are showing up. You
guys are dressed alike.